What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday night. Thank you so much for your patience this evening. I got home way later than I expected, but I actually had some more time to look into Chantal's general neighborhood, and I have some more information for us, so it kind of worked out. But I'm sorry to make you wait. Let's see who's in the chat. I got to tell you, I'm going to pretty much go through YouTube live chat tonight, so I don't get too far behind. So that might mean that not all of your messages will appear on the screen. However, I will be able to keep up a little better, hopefully. Let's cross our fingers. Inshallah. God willing. Nutty the Squirrel is here. Pix is here as usual. Welcome, Pix. Always happy to see you. We got Sachi Bell, the Mastermind, Texas Mama, Betty Boykin, Susie Q, Megan Ray. What's going on, Megan Ray? Assalamu alaikum. Jade Fox, Tracy Williams. We got everybody. Alyssa is here. Thank you, Alyssa. I'm glad I am the chosen creator for you to attend live streams. I'm honored. Thank you. Thank you. I try not to waste people's time, you know. You filthy animal, what's going on? Nice to see you. Oh, we got a lot of good people in the house tonight. Tammy Chowdhury, awesome to see you. Welcome, welcome. Let's see, we got Lynn Smith, my Smoky Grandma, Savage Vegas Baby, yeah, John Galt. Your voice crushes live. How's it going, John Galt? Lemon Seed, what's going on? If we ever do memberships, we absolutely have to get a white owl. I mean, I appreciate the brown owl that YouTube gives us, but I mean, really, it's not the same, is it? It's just not. Mary Beth, Lord of the Fruit Flies, Kaya Mary, Kaya Mary. Kaya Mary, do you want a mod tonight? If not, it's totally fine, because if you want to kick back and relax, if things get a little hairy, I'll ask someone else. I don't want to put any pressure on anybody. It's no big deal. Let's see. We've got Archie, Lucy Woo. I'm glad you're here live. All right. Mary Beth. Okay. You have an owl mug. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Kaya Mary, I don't want to, I don't want to overstep. You know what I mean? And I haven't emailed you yet. I apologize. I will. Inshallah. God willing, I will. I'll try to remember after the stream. I get a little sidetracked, to say the least, at times. Elmer Fudd. Aaron Carter? No. I don't know if you're talking to me, Elmer Fudd, but no. Angel of Glass, you are right on time. We are just getting started. Amanda, how's it going, Amanda? All right, so I guess we have a lot to go over. We do. Okay, Mary Beth, if you'll behave, all right. I don't know. Okay. Emma Wee, what's going on? Assalamu alaikum. Seafood pie. Yeah. All right. So I guess we do have a lot to go over tonight. We can definitely look at a few of Foodie Beauty's last few videos. On my way home today, I watched some of that so-called lasagna video. It was horrifying. Absolutely horrifying on so many levels. If you haven't seen that, we can definitely do that. First, let me show you just some background information that I have come across. All right, let me make this full screen so everybody can see. Okay. So this is the neighborhood. This is the neighborhood. This is it. So she's over this way, and I'm not showing the building, but she's over here to the right. So when she looks across the parking lot, this is what she's looking at. I also found out what that round building is. So let's go through. So this is the round building across. Now let me show you. Actually, let me show you some context if you haven't seen yet, because we gotta get everyone along for the ride. I think first we don't want to leave anyone behind. Let's get everyone up to date first. So let me show you an aerial view first of her area. Let's do that first. Don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Okay. Okay, so this is from Google Maps, and this is her neighborhood. Okay, this is it's on the beach. This is Kuwait. If you have seen her apartment tour, you may be able to figure out generally which block she's on. I can tell you that someone has gone in and labeled her building as luxury fart box on Google Maps. Yeah, it's labeled. It's labeled. I guess anyone can label anything, I guess. So, I mean, people are just like, wow. So when she looks out of her building, right, we see a parking lot, and then we see the sea here, right? And so people have been asking, what is this round building here? Like, what is this? Well, I found out. And it is actually no longer even in business. It's no longer even around. So it was a mall. Let me show you the mall. This was in business let me share the screen again, in 2016. And it seems like people really liked going there. And apparently, they didn't really take into account the ocean, or the sea, rather, coming up on the shore. And it was too close. And it flooded like the first floor of this entire mall. And now it's completely like no one's there anymore. All these businesses pulled out. So this is from 7 years ago. So they had a Chili's, Coffee Bean. Now the last update I read was from 2019. So it is possible that it's up and running again. However, we can see from this picture, it's not the clearest, but things do look like they're under construction. So I don't believe that it's back in business at this time. I could absolutely be wrong. I've just looked at this within the last like 30 minutes or so. So here's some more pictures of the mall. So they had a bunch of things here. It's called Miral, M-I-R-A-L. Pizza Rustica, Lotus Corner, Red Mango, Caribou Coffee. Lots of little restaurants. Cali Burger. They had live entertainment. Yeah, they did. I mean, people were filming it. It must have been a good time, right? So here's how we see where this actually is to give us some perspective. So this is the side that faces the sea. They have like this water element here, which is kind of cool. But here's the mosque that's on the beach. And then across the street would be where she lives. So if we look at this, here's the mosque right here. And she's over here somewhere. Here's another view of the mosque. And so this person would have their back to the sea. And so the building would be over in this direction where she lives. Please, I'll just delete that. Someone took like a panoramic view and it really, I guess I saved this mostly because it shows the rounded feature of the building because that's what really stands out about that building. Here's more of what it looked like on the inside. Kind of cool. Cali Burger, always fresh. We like fresh, don't we? We do. We love fresh. We do. Miral Mall. And this is where she lives. Always fresh. Now, these are just pictures that I pulled off the internet. So like, they're not the best quality or, I just tried to get like a selection of what's really going to show us the perspective of like, this is the building. So we can see how it kind of curves around here. So there was outdoor seating. It's kind of a cool water element. Interesting. Coffee bean and tea leaf was there. These are all pretty much the same types of restaurants that are in Egypt also. And that's kind of what gets really tedious about eating out because it's like, yeah, there's a lot of restaurants, but I mean, TGI Fridays, Chili's, and these places are extremely expensive because it's like, they're American based. Everything's going to be kind of imported. There's a standard that they need to have kept because it's a corporation. So they tend to be very expensive. I remember we went and got nachos late one night at Chili's and it was like some absurd amount of money. It was ridiculous. I don't remember what it was, but I was just like, my jaw dropped. Like, what? For an appetizer and a couple of sodas? Are you kidding? Yeah. Johnny Rockets. We had this at the Mall of Arabia in Egypt. It was like one of the only really good burgers I had while I was there. So here are some of Chantal's neighbors on the beach. Now, I don't see any women in that. I don't see any women swimming, do you? No, not allowed. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Why didn't they, architecture question, rhetorical, but still, plan for, God only knows, plan for possible high, low tide, tsunamis. Yeah, no clue. A lot of, it's some of the stuff is truly baffling. It really is. Like, why are we still, I definitely wanted this picture. The propane canisters. These restaurants are also using propane canisters. It's extremely common. I had one in an apartment that I lived in. very, very common. So like the infrastructure is truly lacking in a lot of the Middle East, I would say. They don't have like underground gas pipes necessarily. Like in most places, it seems like you are using these propane canisters. Yeah. So that shows again like the curve of the building. All right. Let me see what kind of questions you guys have so far. We're also going to take a closer look at her actual neighborhood as well. Let me go back to live chat. Make sure I'm keeping up here. Pix, you had a question early on. I want to make sure I got that. Did you have any issue finding halal places? I'm guessing no, but curious. Halal places in Egypt? I'm assuming you mean. Everything's halal in Egypt, and I would say most Islamic countries. The only place I used to shop at international supermarkets from time to time, just so I could get some food that I used to eat in the States that was familiar to me. And you'd have to be careful with that kind of thing. But like mostly like really hidden things like gelatin, like for gummy bears and things like that. But any restaurant is absolutely going to be halal. Any food that you get in a regular supermarket is going to be halal. And that's like a good business decision. Even if it's a Christian who's running the business, you don't want to alienate 90% of your potential customers by saying, we might be, we might not. You want to be halal no matter what, just to be safe. Yeah. Chantal's going to lose her mind that we know. Rally point. Oh, well. And we're not doxing her, We're not. We could go to all kinds of, we could go to a whole other level, but we're not. Because we're decent people. We have no reason to go to a whole other level, right? That's what I think. I don't want to be one of those people, I've had some of these lolcows come for me hard, way before Chantal. I'm like, it's not fun. I don't go real life with them, but they do want to go real life with you when you start criticizing them. They have no boundaries whatsoever. So I try to, keep some standards over here. Try. All right, so I'm pulling up Google Maps right now so we can get a live image. I'll get it up and then I'll share the screen. So you're not seeing all of my zoom and zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. So some people had theorized that it's the Hilton Kuwait. It's not. The Hilton is way farther north than this, much farther north. I'm going to show you where it says luxury fart box on live Google Maps. Oh my God. It's, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can even see that. Probably not, huh? It's so tiny. How can I zoom in on that? Oh, maybe if I, yeah. There we go. You see that? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the number. I wasn't looking at numbers. I was looking at the orientation of the building from like where she was showing us out the window. So, yeah, I don't know like what the street name is even. I don't. Sometimes they don't really go by streets. Like where I lived, it was like they called it Garden of the something. Like we didn't really have a street name. Things are very different. They really are. They really are. All right, so let me show you more of the neighborhood that I found just now. Okay, so here is the mall. Oops. Show the stream. Show what you're showing. There we go. All right. So the curve, like what she sees, the curve is on the outside. So like she would be like over here. And this, see how like this curves inward? And here's another photo of the mosque. And lots of places have, most places I would say have places to pray. Like in shopping malls, there's always going to be prayer rooms. You know, they're segregated, male and female. So there's no reason not to pray. In the States, it can be very difficult to find a place to pray when it's time to. And that's what's kind of nice about the Middle East. If you are Muslim, like everywhere is going to accommodate that, everywhere. So, oh yeah, here. So this is another screenshot that I took. So you can see how it's kind of rounded. But you see how like this appears to be like a fence around it? I read that it was shut down because of the flooding. So guess what's in her neighborhood? My goodness. Do I listen to Arabic music? Nah. No. I don't. I mean, I don't understand enough Arabic to really, you know, unless it's Habibi, Habibi, you know. Yeah. But like the sound of it doesn't really appeal to me. Really. We often pray in the parking lot if we're out shopping and no other place available. Yep. Yep. Yeah. You do it where you can. There is no street view. No. Kuwait's pretty stealthy when it comes to that kind of stuff. They don't want that, I guess. So this is, oh, let me show you exactly like where this is in relation to in her neighborhood. Let me show you that first. I was going to draw like a line, like showing like the path she would need to walk if she wanted to walk. Here we go. Which, you know, probably not, right? She can buy more fries. Do you think she chose that place because of the Burger King, or that was just a bonus? Don't roll your eyes from being cynical. I'm sure it was a plus. I'm sure if she was like, yeah, I don't know. And he was like, there's a Burger King within walking distance if you actually walked. And she'd be like, oh, all right. All right, then. So she's kind of in this area over here. Okay. Here's the mall up here. Here's that little mosque. And Burger King is right here where this red, where this is right here. Here's the Burger King. So it's very, very close by. Why do they assume men cannot control their impulses and the women must cover up? That's not the assumption. That's not why we cover up. There's many reasons why we cover up. A lot of them don't have to do with men. So there's like this saying that like a lot of like that some imams like nowadays will say that like if you were to unwrap a piece of candy and it's out and about, like would you want to pick up that piece of candy to eat it? Or if something is completely wrapped up and covered, like when you do uncover it, you know, that's like the imams from like today. That's like one analogy that they use. But basically our beauty, our charms are not for the public. They're not for the world to see. They're not. And it has nothing to do with whether men can control themselves or not. Men are expected to control themselves. But genders, especially when praying, genders are segregated because, I mean, if you think of like, you know, 100 women of all different ages bending over in front of a bunch of men, how are they going to be focused to pray? And it's not about impulses. That's like human nature, you know? So we pray in a different area. A mosque that is in my area, we pray upstairs. So we're looking down on the men. And, it's just, you can also women can feel more comfortable too. They're just around other women. They don't have to worry about like who's looking at them, that kind of thing. It's just because you want to be focused on your prayer, not on who's around you, who's looking at you, or at that woman you think is beautiful, if you're, right next to you, bending over, so that's why. How's it going, Charlene McGinnis? I love this and how observant you are. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Calling as a detective. Yeah. I looked into it for a little bit and like, you have to have like a criminal justice degree. Like they don't play. I was like, yeah, I can, I have like a good sense of like justice. I'm not a scumbag. I don't have a criminal record. Hey, some people do, and like they have reformed themselves and they're great now. That's fine. But like I've never had any issue with the law at all. And I want to see justice served. And I do like to investigate. But yeah, I found out like you need a whole degree for that. It's not like I'm like, I could take a class and get a background check and like get licensed. Nope. Nope. Isn't it part of the idea? Less focused on looks, more focused on character. Exactly. Yes. Yes, sisters, please chime in because there's no way I'm going to cover it all. So yes, absolutely. And yes, thank you, Megan Ray, because it's also like in Egypt, I felt far more valued as a woman than I do in the States. Far more. Like women in the States, I feel are valued for like their curves or how much they're going to show off in the summer or how long their hair is or the color of their hair. And, but when you're covered, and remember, like I wasn't Muslim when I was in Egypt, but I've always dressed conservatively. I felt like people were seeing me really for who I was, not for like, those other things. So yeah. Mm-hmm. When I was a personal trainer, I ran a class called Bootyology. I noticed men would show up to this 99% female class. I'd noticed they'd try to be in the back. When I made them go to the front, they'd see how I mixed gender. That's how I see mixed gender prayers. Yeah, you're gonna be distracted. It's just human nature. Absolutely. Yeah. And then you have men that may not be there to exercise, just like you might have men there that aren't there to pray. They're, if women were bending over in front of them, very possible. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good comparison also. So yeah, the Burger King is close by. It is. And here it is. No, this place is tiny. So there's like 2 little chairs here and there's 2 little chairs there. And that's the Burger King. So it's mostly like a delivery place or to go. Like no one's really dining in. So these are the buildings around her. Her building specifically doesn't really look like this. But this isn't very far at all from where she's staying. But it's like teeny tiny little place. Here it is at nighttime. And delivery is usually done on a motorbike. And these boxes on the back keep the food warm. Yeah, so like that's where people would just come in and sit and eat if they were dining in. Mm-hmm. Here's a little bit of the menu up here in Arabic. It looks like a regular fast food place. And this picture is from 2022, so that's fairly recent. Here's a guy coming in to pick up his order. You can see the mini split air conditioner. So they get a blast of cold air as soon as they walk in. So this is her neighborhood at night. And this is it. They got a pharmacy over here. Everyone pharmacy. It's for everyone. Go in, get your antidepressants, anything you need. It's for everyone. Get what you need. All closed up. And these are the buildings that would be further inland than where she is. So lots and lots of apartment buildings. And I'm not sure how many private homes there are in Kuwait. I would assume they're mostly inland. This is the Burger King delivery car looks like. Okay, so here's the number to call. And they get the bun, the tomato, the onion, lettuce. Burger King. Fresh Kings, plant-based Whopper, plant-based nuggets, King Snacks, free ticket with the cinema meal. Lauren May, you don't have to go back. We're just, we're casual. We're casual. All right. So this is their general menu, I guess. When is this from? 2019. So you got triple Whoppers, double Whoppers, mushroom steakhouse, steakhouse burger, chicken Whopper, chicken steakhouse, king chicken filet, crispy chicken, chicken royale. It's like a huge menu. Bean burger, fish royale, coleslaw, king chicken salad. I'd probably get that. Kids club meals. Are we at the end already? I think so. Yeah. I guess so. All right. Let me look at some of your questions that you might have so far. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're having a good weekend so far. I do. Let's see. Perhaps a dumb question, but is it not normal in Islamic countries for mosques to have some kind of talk minaret or done? Right. It looks like Kay Amari already answered that. Usually mosques in all Islamic countries have minarets with live adhan. Yeah. And what Megan Ray is talking about is, let me pull up a picture. Typically, the guy, right, the muezzin, will go to the top of the minaret. Let me see if I can get this bigger for you guys. There we go. And he will sound the call to prayer. So there will be, I don't think this is exactly the one I wanted, but all right. So you can see there's speakers up here. I don't know if you can even, can I zoom in? There we go. You can see there's loudspeakers up here. So you will hear, in an Islamic country, you will absolutely hear the call to prayer throughout the day. It would be very rare to live in any area where you can't hear it. So, like, here's the door to the mosque. We got a tourist standing here. And some floodlights. And so this would be a minaret. You would go to the top. This is probably, this is a light bulb. Would probably be green, most likely. And he'll sound the call to prayer so everyone knows to come to pray. It struck me as odd how unassuming the mosque was. Oh, often in Morocco, I'm used to minarets being the tallest building. Oh, well, this is a little beach mosque. Yeah. Like in Egypt, we had all different kinds of mosques. Little ones, like in farmland, they'll be tiny, teeny tiny. And in cities, like in Cairo, there's huge ones. Huge. Offline, I've learned so much about Islam and Arab culture from this channel. Thank you, Offline. Hey, thanks for having an interest. Thanks for keeping an open mind and, checking things out. I really appreciate that. She has been eating her own cooking and sandwiches from all that bread she bought. I bet you by next week it'll be BK. Yeah, probably. Oh my God, all of those loaves of bread. Yeah. All right, let's see what else you guys have, and then we'll take a look at some of her videos. Dumb question, the mastermind. What would happen if you're driving, then the call to prayer goes off? You have time. You have to pray that prayer. There's 5 prayers a day. You have to pray that particular prayer before the next prayer. So you have time. You don't have to, like, if you're like in the shower when there's the call to prayer, like, you don't have to like grab a towel and like you finish your shower, you get dressed, you know, you have time. You have time to do it. Absolutely. So you would just do it at the next earliest convenience before the next prayer. That's all. People often stop along the road. Meggie Moo. What's going on, Meggie Moo? I just got the "I love you, Chantal" in my earbuds. I had to turn off the volume because the last live stream, it was really messing with the overall volume of the entire stream. So until I get that figured out, it's just gonna be blasted in my eardrums instead of yours. Do you think Chantal has any other clothing options that cover the body without buying Western muumuus? Of course. I would think so. Yeah. I mean, it's mostly going to be her, the size that's the issue. But she might be at a point where she really should start looking into getting things like tailor-made for her, That's where I think she's at. Some stores close to pray. Elmer Fudd, you're right. Yep. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Is there a set time for each prayer? Yes, there is, Pix. Yes, there is. But it changes based on the time of year. So, like the sunrise prayer is going to be at slightly different times throughout the year, like when the sun rises, How long is the prayer time-wise? Each prayer has a different amount of, what would be the best? I don't want to use too much jargon. My sisters in the chat. I don't want to use too much jargon to confuse things further. So if you can help me out with that, I guess like units, we could call them units. Each prayer has a number of units that you would go through. So like the morning prayer has the fewest number, so that can be the quickest. And it really depends on how, you don't want to rush through any prayer, but you can be expeditious about it. You are reciting Quran, you are reciting verses. So, but again, like, you don't want to rush through it. I would say, how about, what do you girls think? Like Fajr, I would say maybe 10 minutes-ish. Longer prayers, maybe like 15. And if you do more after that, you can pray more after that. It could be a little bit longer, but it really doesn't take much time at all. It really doesn't. Even with her body covered and her wearing the same clothes, she always looks sloppy and unkempt. She puts no effort into her appearance except for her eye makeup. I think that's just her, I think that's just her. She doesn't really seem to, you would think, I would have thought that Chantal would be a little more vain, but yeah. She doesn't really seem to care much about her appearance, really. Hey, Maggie Moo, no, you have not missed much at all. We looked at her neighborhood a little bit. We looked at that round building in the neighborhood and what exactly that is. We found the Burger King close by. All the really, really vitally important things. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. What is your favorite hijab? Susie Q. What is my favorite hijab? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Do you mean like the style of hijab? I know you're a sister, Susie Q. Like a type, like what kind of scarf or the style? Or I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I'll tell you this, I don't like Shayla's. I don't like chiffon. I like a thicker, stiffer fabric that holds up, that I can make folds with. I do like a Turkish style very much. Very much. I think it's like impossibly elegant, really. It's so elegant. And for everyone, Turkish hijab is used with a square scarf, and it is not easy. It's not easy. So I actually have a whole video on hijab that I'm going to be putting out at some point. At some point, I got to finish it. As I edit, I'm like, oh, and I really should include this, and I got to put in that. But like, I got to finish it. I just got to like at some point say it's good enough, and I can add on to it with a follow up video if I need to. But let's just publish some videos. Yeah. So yeah, I like stiffer fabrics. I don't wear black hijab hardly ever. I don't even think I have a black scarf, to be honest with you. I have undercaps that are black, of course, but yeah. Like, I guess my favorite scarf is like, it's kind of like it's grayish silver. Like it has silver flecks through it, kind of. So it's kind of like it, glistens in the sun. I like the way that looks. And I'm able to tie it so many different ways. During the revolution in Egypt, I wore it as a turban because, I wasn't Muslim, but I'm like, well, I really should cover my hair. I was very blonde. And there was a notification during the revolution that Hamas was down the street at a gas station, and that they were asking about foreigners in the area if there were any Americans around. So I was like, oh, let me grab a scarf because I got some pretty blonde hair right now. Yeah. You like long rectangle? Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's when I really learned. And it looked good. I used to wear nothing but Turkish style. Oh, but now you wear Shayla's? Nice. Yeah, I like Shayla's on other people, but I can't make them look good on me. And for everyone, a Shayla is like kind of like it's a very lightweight scarf. It's very, it's unstructured. It's kind of flowy in a way. I mean, not flowy like flowing off of your head, but it's just looser, I guess. And I don't know. I guess I feel like when I am wearing hijab, like it needs to be, I feel like I want it to be secure. Really secure. Actually, you know what? I could show you. I did edit some photos of myself wearing hijab for that hijab video. So I could show you those now if you would like. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see hijab pictures, or 2 in the chat if you want to get started on one of Chantal's videos. 1 for hijab, 2 for Chantal. You let me know. You guys will guide the stream, whatever you guys want. Okay, we got 1, 2. Pashminas are good. Yep. 1, 2. We got 2 2s. I'm going to need a vote from everyone. No, I'm kidding. We need vote participation here, please. All right, let me see what I can find. I don't have many. It's not, it's not going to be obnoxious. I mean, I don't think. Let me make sure I'm showing the edited ones and not the unedited. Chantal will find me. Okay. Oh, Yoshiki. Yeah, why not? Well, for my hijab video, I was looking for photos of different types of hijab, and I got to a point where I couldn't find what I was looking for, and I'm like, I guess I'm just going to show what I've worn because I really wasn't finding anything. It's no big deal. I mean, my face is edited. All right. You believe Chantal wears one to hide her body? Yeah. Well, of course we could Google hijabs, but that's no fun. Anyone can do that. Okay, so this is at Carrefour. Carrefour is a French supermarket. And I actually tell a story about this in the hijab video, but I'll tell it to you now. No problem. So this was during Ramadan. So all of the Ramadan sweets were out, and like for some reason, it looks like I never had a clear camera. Because nothing looks, I don't know what it was, but my ex took this photo. The reason your face is in a mangle of pixels, look though, they're hearts. I found a thing that made them all hearts. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So he said that he took this picture because this guy was in the photo, and no one in Egypt dresses like this. Nobody. So I believe that this guy's from Libya. Now, the reason I believe that is because where I lived in Egypt, Egypt borders Libya to the east. And when Libyans would like travel to Egypt, like for holiday or whatever, your brother-in-law dresses this way? And Algeria, right? Algeria, I think, if I remember correctly, or Tunisia. I think it's Algeria. Because, yes, okay. Algeria and Egypt, like the soccer, the football, like they're rivals. So I used to make a joke with my ex about like my second husband was Algerian. For the football rivalry. Yeah, an Egyptian and an Algerian, of course. Yes, of course. So this guy is Libyan. And I know that because I know Janine, right? I mean, there's a reason we're no longer together, Not because of that. I'm a faithful lady, always, always. But sometimes I just had to get my digs in. You know what I mean? The one Algerian, in the U.S. dresses this way. Okay. This guy, I'm pretty sure is Libyan. So where I lived, we had Libyans that would always come over to Egypt for holiday, and I put this in my video too, where I'm actually sitting at a gas station where I see, men like this from time to time. Salafi, yeah. From time to time, I would see men dressed like this at the gas station because they'd be like passing through. And I'd be like, where are they from? And I'd look at the license plate. It would always be Libya. So especially during Ramadan, it's like this guy's probably like here on holiday. You can see all of these are all cookies. Kak. It's like a powdery cookie. Crumbly, very crumbly. A story about that too. But you can see people are dressed all different ways. There's a guy over here in a short sleeve t-shirt and some cargo shorts. This is the butcher. Back here you can see that this lady it looks like she's wearing short sleeves. She's not veiled. No big deal. No big deal. Egypt is pretty liberal. No, Yashiki, this is Carrefour. Carrefour supermarket. It's a big French supermarket. Thanks for this. What is the name of the neighborhood? I don't know. It's Mangaf is like the district, but I don't know like what her neighborhood specifically is, what it would be called. But this is the bakery at Carrefour. It's just a big supermarket. It's like a hypermarket. Like they sell clothes. It's like Walmart. It's like Walmart essentially, where they have a grocery section and So I'm wearing hijab in this photo is because I had an interview this day. So I was interviewing at a school, at an international school, and during Ramadan, it's just better, especially professionally, it was better to just throw on a scarf because there are male teachers there. You just don't want to be a distraction. And my hair was practically platinum blonde then. So I'm a distraction walking in, period, as a foreigner. So I always dress conservatively. Like, I'm not wearing an abaya. I've never worn an abaya. My wide leg linen pants. This was one of my pairs of wide leg linen pants. If you saw my last video, my black wide leg linen pants were bleached by a jealous housekeeper. bleached. So these were my khaki colored ones. I'm wearing some Calvin Klein sandals, open toe, which I soon found out open toe is not the way to go. Justice for black linens. Thank you, Pix. Thank you. Thank you, Susie Q. Thank you. R.I.P. black linen pants. I thought of it. I might even have a picture of them as being bleached. I think I might. I gotta look for it. Show you how bad it was. You wear abayas all the time. Never thought I could wear them, but now I can't see myself not wearing them. Yeah, I'm sure. I hate that it happened, but you told a great story, and I love me some linen clothing myself. Yeah, it was pretty devastating. It made you mad. Yeah, I mean, it's like, what kind of a miserable person would do that to somebody, really? Why no open toe? That's a very good question, Lucy Jane. Guys, feel free to ask me to clarify, because I feel I will definitely say things that I don't even think of expounding on, but you should ask. It has nothing to do with modesty whatsoever. It's because the heat, the sun, and the sand and the dust will tear your feet apart in no time, and your shoes break down very quickly. So here I am wearing these Calvin Klein sandals. I love them. I got them in the States. I don't have these anymore. They fell apart. These were not cheap shoes. And the pedicures you have to give yourself if you wear anything open toe, it's daily. It's I've never seen anything like it. My feet went through they went through a lot. And then I saw all the other teachers were wearing closed toe shoes. And I'm like, huh, aren't they hot? Why don't you just wear sandals? But that's why. So I had an interview, just threw a scarf on. So this under here, I'm wearing a black tank top. Hooker, no. The sweater was extremely lightweight. I have another picture I'll show you where you can see how lightweight it is. So I was very comfortable wearing this. It was cool. And I felt like I was dressed enough for an interview, So I'm wearing a pink. I still have this scarf. It's a pink, it's tan, and it's got a little bit of peach. It's kind of like a very subtle plaid almost. And let me pull up another picture to show you another angle of that. I think linen would be the best breathable fabric that can pleat nicely. You got it. Exactly. Yes, exactly. So let me show you the front with my face as a bunch of hearts. There's me. Oh, yeah. So the guy from Libya, my ex said that he took the picture because that guy was in the background. Because my friends and family at home were making up all kinds of stories to scare themselves about what I was doing there. So it's oh my God, it's an Arab. So, yeah. How well did the knee-high boots hold up, Lauren? I only wore them that one time. So yeah, I didn't bring them back with me. And boy, that is one of my biggest regrets. One of my biggest regrets. Yeah. Okay, Nutty Squirrel. Have a great night. So this is the front. And you can see it's kind of, this is just a rectangular scarf. Very subtle plaid. So you would put this on, you can see I have my hair showing. I didn't wrap it super tight. People know as a foreigner in a foreign country, in an Islamic country, that you are, yes, we had a lot of laughs for sure. Yep. But they can tell that you're foreign and that you're making an effort. And sometimes, they can tell. They can tell if you're sincere and that you're making an effort and that you're not making a mockery of things. Exactly. Haram. I got the hair showing. I got a tank top. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I got skin. You can see the skin. Thank you, Darkest Coven. I don't know what I would talk about, though. This outfit kind of reminds me of what some older women might wear in Italy. Oh, yeah, lemon seed. I could see that. I've always dressed like an old lady. seriously, no, okay, I'm married. No apology needed. I get it. I know. Simple jewelry. Yep. Green dragon. Yep. Just a very lightweight necklace just to dress things up a little bit for my interview, you know? So you would put the scarf on your head, and usually one, like for this type of look, one side would be longer than the other. And you would just wrap it up and around and just pin it in a few key places. And then, as you can see, I don't have it tightly wrapped where my cheeks are bulging out or anything of the sort. I keep things pretty loose. And sometimes wearing a scarf was cooler than having my hair out, like on really, really hot days. I was really shocked by that because I was like, you would think, right? If you just wear a ponytail, like you're good, but sometimes the scarf made it cooler. That was not something that I expected. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Texas Mama. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that some of us are speaking out, you know, because enough is enough. Oh, you meant the scarf on the head. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. Your scarf to me is what I thought is a Shayla type. This is how I wear mine, but I like larger scarves to cover my chest. Okay. Yeah. When I think of Shayla, I think of very, very like the neck showing, like very loosely draped, I guess. I have to say the idea that you and Kate are married, and are you serious? And the other Muslimas, I hope that is a correct use of the word. Yes, you're using more correct Arabic and Islamic terms than Chantal. The idea that you talk to one another was so sweet. We're sisters, you know? Could you wear perfume? Sure. Absolutely. Yep. No decorative pin that doesn't actually hold anything? Yeah, exactly. And not exactly very decorative, too, you know? Yikes. Damn it, Chantal. I want to pursue the bakery aisles and read mistranslated English. Nice. Yeah. Okay, Mary does not wear perfume outside the home. This is good too for a couple of us to talk like in a conversation. Megan Ray, you too. And Susie Q, because we all have different ways of practicing. So I think that's really important for viewers to see and to hear, because some people really want to ding Chantal on like these minor things that really like are practiced in different ways by different people. Like there are some things that are pretty black and white, but there are so many other things that are just not at all. There are different levels of iman. Yep, different levels of faith. Yeah. And different interpretations, and also madhab. We always consider madhab, always. And I talk about madhab in the video about our dog's haram, because madhab plays into it a lot. And that's just Islamic jurisprudence, a school of thought. Different imams from history had different rulings on different things. And it tends to be regional. So what Salah might be practicing as a Syrian would be different than how I learned, or different than how Kay Amari learned, or Susie Q or Megan Ray learned. So it's not black and white with a lot of things. A lot of things. I somehow found an Orthodox Jewish woman showing me her culture after your videos popped into my feed. Nice. Never had much of an inclination to learn, but now I'm a student hunting for all teachers. That's fantastic, Yashiki. That's awesome. It's fascinating, isn't it? It's like, you know, some things you never really knew that you didn't know about until, you know, someone starts talking about it. It's like, whoa, tell me more. I think the reason that is that Foodie likes to use religion when it suits her. It's haram when she doesn't want to do it, but she's just learning, so give her a break, or oh well when it's convenient. Yeah. Yeah. She likes the hijab and the abaya. I always hesitate when I say abaya because in Egypt we call them it's similar, but we call them galabeyas. A galabeya. So I have always said abeya, as in galabeya. but literally everyone else in the entire world is abaya. So that's why I tend to hesitate sometimes. I love learning about other cultures and just love it. It's interesting to me. Same. For sure. I really don't like the way Chantal pronounces haram. Where did she learn that from? She's got a lot of weird pronunciations. She doesn't care. Scunnered Scottish bird. I had to live in Kuwait when I was 14, 15. My dad was working there, and the scarf did make me cooler after all my moaning about it. That's awesome. Isn't that strange? Like, you would never think, like, oh, let me put a whole layer of fabric on my head to make me feel cooler. And shocking. It feels better. Yeah, it's so interesting. Did you ladies ever see Amy Ramadan's head covering creations? No, I never watched her. That's similar to Abby Cox doing an experiment with her friends to compare older Victorian, Georgian, etc. fashions to modern, and found it was cooler to be more covered. Isn't that interesting, Megan Ray? My favorite Chantal-ism is Alhamdulillah. That's close. She does say it fairly closely, actually. She does. But Yalla. I saw someone in the premiere last night ask about Yalla. I think it was Betty Boykin, maybe, if you're still here, Betty. And I know someone answered it. But I wanted to expound a little bit more on that because I heard Nader saying, oh, look at her. She's saying Yalla. That's an Egyptian thing. They don't say that in Kuwait. Salah doesn't say that. And I found that's so true in the Middle East, where people will claim things as their nationality. Oh, we do it the best. We did it first. But Egyptian dialect is across the Middle East. Everyone understands it for the most part because a lot of movies are filmed in Egypt. And a lot of television shows are filmed in Egypt. I worked very close to a movie production, like film center, very close to it. I was walking with my friend in her apartment complex, and they were filming a movie there. And she got to sit. I don't know if she didn't get an autograph, but I took her picture, and she was like, "You don't even understand who that was." And I'm like, "No, I have no idea who that was. This Arab actress." And she's like, "That's like the Jodie Foster of the United States." I was like, "What?" Yeah. I had never seen her before, and not again since. Yeah. So this is an example of hijab that I wore. I have a couple others I can show you quickly, and then we'll get on to one of Chantal's terrible videos. And I'll have you guys vote on which one you want to watch too. I'll definitely show you this one because this is one of my favorites. I got this for Valentine's Day. Come on now. There we go. So this I saw when we were shopping in like these hypermarkets like Carrefour. It was another hypermarket that I really love to go to that have like stores just on the periphery on the outside. And there's a lot of hijab stores around. Like they don't even sell abayas. Like it's all scarves and scarf accessories, like pins and stuff. So this is completely sheer. And the embroidery is just beautiful on it. And all of this embroidered. This style, how I'm wearing it, is very Egyptian. This is an Egyptian way of wearing a hijab. Your husband watches a lot of Egyptian movies, and that's where I first saw the color teal green hair that I absolutely loved and have dyed my hair green for the last 3 years. That's awesome. That's so cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, I love it. Is the hypermarket the in-between of a souk and open malls? No, it's like a Target or a Super Walmart. It's just a big store. Like Carrefour is French. We had one, Spinneys. Spinneys was just grocery, but that's from the UK. Yeah, I didn't like to put on black. I never understood why, especially in Kuwait, Dubai, men wore white, but women wore a lot of black. When you're wearing a flowy, like a full covering that's very flowy, in hot desert with the sun, how bright the sun is when you're in the desert, white can be see-through. So that's why you really don't see white abayas around. Why can't women have the cool colors? Absolutely. Of course. Of course. So I'm wearing this totally Egyptian style because that's the only way I knew how to wear it. But I saw it and I asked my ex bought it for me for Valentine's Day. And this is the front. So totally haram here. So I'm wearing a black undercap. And the reason I would put that on is so that this scarf, see how sheer it is, and like it's very, like there's not a lot of structure to it. So it would be slipping and sliding all over my head if I didn't put this on underneath. Also, it's sheer. You can see how see-through it is. So you would absolutely see my hair under this, 100%. You feel lazy asking and not the Google machine? You should ask because Google isn't always going to give you the right answers. You Google Canadian expat in Kuwait, you're going to get someone like Chantal telling you how life is. Okay, think of it that way. You know, you might as well ask people who actually, you know, have an idea. Your face tattoos are beautiful. It's funny. We all know Chantal would not seek out classy clothing in the culture. She always takes the easy way out. Yeah, Deb, I don't know why. Like as a woman, don't you want to kind of explore different, I don't know. So yeah, I'm wearing a very low cut hooker top here, but my scarf is kind of covering it. Yeah. And I'm wearing a long skirt. This skirt is from India, actually. And yeah, so that's another hijab. A lot of women wear all black due to the death of family. Sure. Yep. All right, guys. Would it be expensive to have some basic abayas made that fit her? I don't know how much that would cost in Kuwait. It wouldn't be expensive at all in Egypt, but I don't know how that would be in Kuwait. Salah doesn't really put on white. He has more Western clothing. Yep, he does. He does. Yes, I agree with this, Kay. Mary, Google won't give you the right answers. Many websites have been made to purposely give a false info. That's right. There is, if you search, I want to say like Islam, and that's it. There's a website that's like in the top 3 results that is specifically against Islam and is meant to deceive people. And you go to it and it's like, okay, this sounds legit. Like if you didn't really know, how would you really know? But if you really started to read into it, you'd recognize the hatred for sure. Yeah. Okay, so which of Chantal's videos would you like to go through? Let me pull up our options here. We have what I think she might be trying to get like some ramen sponsorship, ramen noodles. We got that. Let me pull up her channel. Let's see what we got. I'm on the couples channel. Back to the housing. Do they have to pay a rent fee if it's employee housing? That's really up to the employer. It would be hard to say. Like for my apartment that they gave me in Egypt for the school that I worked at, they didn't take it out of my pay. They didn't ask for money, but it was considered part of my salary. It was part of my compensation. But yeah, I wouldn't have to pay anything. And I didn't really, I mean, it was so clear to me when I first went inside that I would never be staying there. I mean, I wasn't going to be living there anyway, but like not even as like nothing. It just wasn't, I just couldn't. So I don't know like about utilities and stuff, like how that would have been handled. I didn't even get that far. I was like, I need some window screens because I can't with the mosquitoes. Yeah. But lasagna or ramen? There we go. The lasagna. Oh, that's the most recent one. Let me pull up her channel and show you guys what we got. Or the Kuwaiti grocery haul, which is really not much of anything. like at all. Oops. Let me share some audio there. We got that? Nope, that's not what I want. Huh. Here we go. Yep, so we have TikTok trending cheesy, spicy. Oh man, come on. Why? Come on. Cheesy, spicy ramen noodles. Samyang noodles mukbang. Each of those packages are about 500 calories, by the way. I looked into it. Or cheesy skillet lasagna mukbang, which one for ramen, two for lasagna in the chat, please. One for ramen, two for lasagna. Amanda votes lasagna. She finally stopped eating with her hands. Be happy for small wins. Yeah. Lasagna, aka hamburger helper. Oh, I don't know what she thought. Lasagna. You want to watch lasagna? Okay. They are pretty, both of them are pretty yuck. You're right. You're an enthusiast. The food one was gross. She drugged her clothes through it and everything. The rug she was sitting on is beautiful. Green Dragon, I think your speech to text thing. I can't really interpret that. Okay, so we got some twos. We got a few ones. I wish Chantal would make some female friends there. Absolutely. It could help. I agree, Lauren May. It absolutely would. But she hasn't gone out to meet anybody. I mean, that was like one of the first things I did. I'm like, I need friends. I need to meet women. I need to know what's really going on here. I wasn't just going to rely on my ex to, like, you know, filter my life experience there. No way. No way. Okay, just a sec. Let me make sure we are sharing audio and all of that. Huh. I guess it's going to make me share the entire screen. Let me see if I can... I don't want to have any audio issues. I apologize for the delay. I don't want that. No. Okay. I guess we're doing that. Yeah. Even just, I was watching this a little bit in the car driving home, and I was appalled. Absolutely appalled. Okay. Let's make sure we can hear this correctly. Hello, foodie beauties. So, you know, she got a bell pepper accidentally in her grocery order. She didn't order that. She said they just, like, put it in. Like, the lack of vegetables was appalling. Like, no even regular, you know, nothing fancy, no regular vegetables. She had onions, potatoes, this pepper that got thrown in accidentally. And, like, what? Like, nothing. Not even, like, some lettuce to make a salad or chives, something. No. So she's got this ground beef, black pepper and salt, garlic powder, the pepper. The amount of olive oil that was added to this pan is appalling. There's already fat content in that ground beef. Like, what's with all the added fat? Like, okay, olive oil is like a quote unquote good fat. Like, okay, but like, what? There's enough fat in that ground beef. It's not going to burn when it's not like lean meat that's going to burn when it hits the pan. It's not. Exactly. Oil the beef. Yes. I know. Where's your counter, lemon seed? That's right. Now I'm just watching the chat a little bit. The left hand thing for the madhab that I follow, it's not that strict. It's not. So, and you know, this is why it's so good to have like different people contribute to the conversation, because we like to use the right hand because that's what the Prophet Muhammad did, peace be upon him. But like, as far as like using the left hand for other things, to me, that's always been taught to me as something that like is done in the desert. Now, I know there are different ways of thinking about this, and like that's why we don't divide amongst each other. We just have different ways of thinking about it. But like Bedouin in the desert, they're not going to have access to soap and water. So, you know, when they are eliminating, you know, they might need to use their left hand to get involved in that. But like, as far as like living how I live, it's not that big of a deal. And I actually got like a little bit, I saw some people chatting about it, and I felt like, I know people have different thoughts about it, but it felt to me like people were saying like it was being spoken about as if it's like some like savage lifestyle. Like you are out in the desert in a tent and you're, you know, wiping basically, sorry, with your left hand. And I'm like, I've never done that in my life. And I don't know anyone who's done that. So you eat with your right hand because your left hand is dirty? Like, no, that's not what I've ever learned. I've never learned that. Like the right hand, we use it because the Prophet Muhammad preferred to use that for different reasons. And like, it might have kind of included that, but like where people were saying, oh, Chantal. I love you, Chantal, right in my ears. But, you know, it's like people were talking about it like it's like this savage lifestyle. Like, oh, Chantal, your left hand is used for this. Like, that's not how I've learned about Islam or how I know it to be. So maybe that's why some things seem like a little bit extreme to me when I see the chats going off about different things, you know, but you know, like people have different thoughts about it and have learned differently, and the different madhabs. You try to use your right more, but I'm both right and left-handed. Yeah. Yep. So the oil. Welcome to the new sub. Yeah. I love you, Chantal. So olive oil and ground beef. And you know that's got to be like 70% lean, 75% lean, right? I don't know. I'm going to mute that music because that's super annoying. A. B, right? Up to this point, I'm like, okay, the olive oil was a little bit overkill. We start adding tomato paste. We got all these things. And I'm like, all right. I was with her up until this point. The thick cream is where I started to completely like back out. Like, nope, nope, nope. Okay, so we're muted, so I don't have to mute. Yeah, so this cream that she's pouring in, I don't even know what this is. I'm like, okay, we've just turned this into an even like a high fat dish. Like, all right, that's where we're going with it. And then we get Kraft cream cheese. What? What? What the heck? What are we doing here? Cream cheese. So we have a meat sauce, cream cheese, and thick cream. What? Now we got salt. Ugh. Bay leaves. Okay. Yeah. All the salt. She bought like 3 containers of salt. Broken noodles. So these noodles to me look really overcooked. Like if you're going to add pasta to sauce, I mean, look how rubbery. And then she's got these metal forks all over her nonstick pan, scraping. I was like, oh no. I mean, if you're going to, and then mozzarella cheese, watch this. I'm driving, right? So I'm just like, I'm listening and I'm just kind of glancing down. And then I see this entire pan covered in cheese. I'm like, what is she doing? Is she trying to have a heart attack? Into the oven. So if you're going to bake pasta in sauce, like al dente would be better. Let's see. Yikes. Okay, Chantal. Now, she does say,
hi guys.
Ugh. She does say Bismillah at the beginning, which is in the name of God. Typically, we say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. But, she hasn't, I think she has trouble with pronunciation. So 19 types of fat. You're right, Pix. At least she wasn't using her hands. Oh, wait. Oh, no, Shoshana. Oh, God, no. Yikes. It doesn't look like an oven-safe pan. Yeah, probably not. She eats the whole pan and, oh my God, that bowl of grape leaves. I was wondering, right? Like, this is clearly a meal for people, not person. And I was wondering, like, did she scoop out any beforehand to put in the fridge for Salah or to give him his pan, like his dish? Like, what's going on? She could do it in English, yes, to show her sincerity in trying to butcher the language. I agree with you 100%. She could try. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Bismillah. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I have Pepsi hiding in the behind the curtains. Behind the scenes Pepsi.
Her eye makeup does look good. I'll give her that. It does. She's got a little sparkle going. Looks like she's well blended. She's got, I can always appreciate some good eye makeup. So we got the blue sofa. We got a blue rug. I saw this during the ramen noodle debacle. Yeah, she's got this entire pan here. Looks like some bread with cheese. With cheese melted on it. Do we need that? Do we need the cheese? Yikes. And I mean, look how deep this bowl is. These are not easy to make. I used to date a Lebanese guy way back in the day, and he used to make his own. It took him forever to make them. It's so time consuming. And like to have this many, obviously she didn't make them, but like she bought them from somewhere. And just to eat, like, you could eat like 3 of these and be good. because it's rice. It's all rice in there.
Just gonna pour me some. You know, I'm kind of sometimes liking it without ice because, I mean, it is cold. Our fridge is very cold. You know, so I'll just put that here so we can see the food. Okay, so I have a feast. I am so hungry. Oh my gosh, it took so much willpower not to just say, you know, screw it and just order food. I might have lasagna. I might have cooking face because I'm sweaty from cooking. Okay, so we have some Pepsi.
Cooking face.
Full sugar. We have some, these are dolma, or we call them yibra in, well, Salah calls them yibra, he's Syrian. Dolma, I think, is the Greek way.
How many, Shoshana says? 35, 100. I mean, that's a big bowl. This is a bowl you would put out for a party. And yeah, same bowl that the ground beef was in. I hope it got washed. Yikes. Archie, I'm sure she does drink straight from the bottle when she's by herself, you know? How about 3 and be good? Just a thought. Exactly, Susie Q. I think 3. If I was starving, like I'd need protein with this. So like chicken and maybe 3 of these, maybe 4, and a side salad would be a great meal for me. But like all of this and this rice in here, I mean, carbs on carbs on carbs, plus the Pepsi, the full sugar Pepsi. Is she trying? The first thought I had watching this is like, is she trying to unalive herself? Because this looks like an effort to do so to me. I like the blue too. When I was real young, I had a sofa, not the same color. Yeah, you can't eat more than 3 or 4 anyways. Yeah, in a sitting. Yeah, I know.
Of saying it, I'm not sure, but anyway, these are stuffed grape leaves. You guys know I love them. Cheese toasty and the 1-pan lasagna. Whoa, let's check this out. And I'm eating with a big wooden spoon because I don't have any small wooden spoons. So you're gonna judge me. I know what else is new. But, whoa, check this lasagna. Yum. Let's mix the cheese in a bit. Because I did burn the top of the cheese. I left it on.
This to me is not lasagna. Exactly. You're an enthusiast. Exactly. This is not lasagna. When she said she was going to make lasagna after the grocery haul, I was like, really? That seems rather ambitious. But I was thinking about how I would make lasagna, and it would not be anything like this at all. I mean, I made a lasagna maybe like a month or 2 ago. You know, really, I have a casserole dish. You guys know the ground beef, the sauce, you know, whatever vegetables you're adding, the ricotta cheese, the mozzarella, and you're making layers. And then another layer, and then you bake it. And like, what is this? She even tore up the noodles. The noodles aren't even like, what? There's no layering here. She threw it in. She overcooked the heck out of those noodles so they were like glue, and then threw them in, stirred them up with 2 silver forks, metal forks, scraping up her pan. Then, as you guys pointed out, most likely not an oven-safe pan, right in the oven. Ugh. How is it lasagna, Shoshana? I agree. I think the only way it's lasagna, is that it's lasagna noodles. That's it. To her, that's lasagna, I think. Yeah.
Under the broiler a little bit. Like I baked it on like 375 for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And then I put it under the broiler, you know. So, yes, let's eat. Let's try one of these grape leaves. I love these so much. Yeah, beauty bite.
That's okay. It's not beautiful at all. So, so there are definitely, I've never heard him say or her say to each other, eat. And it's something that my ex and I used to say to each other all the time. Now, this could be an Egyptian dialect thing. You ladies will have to let me know. But for him, and I say it to my dogs now, I say, kul, eat. It's a command, eat, kul. Please, please go ahead and eat. To say to a woman, kuli, kuli. So when he's giving her the basbousa, like here, I was at the bakery, I was at the patisserie, here you go, kuli, eat. And I've never heard them say that to each other. To me, that's a little bit odd, but I don't know. Also, with as much, is it the same, Susan? Thank you. Thanks for chiming in, Susan. I appreciate that. Tunisian dialect. I love it, girls. North African girls. Oh. I love it. Thank you for chiming in. Kuli, yeah, thank you. And also, with as much food as being consumed between this couple, how come no one is saying Bilhana wa Shifa? Bilhana wa Shifa. Eat with health, essentially. I still say it multiple times a day today. To this day, Bilhana wa Shifa. Eat with health. I don't know. North Africa represent. That's right. We got Algeria in the house. We got Morocco in the house. We got Tunisia. We got Egypt. Susie Q. Susie Q, I think it is like a legit revert with no North African or Middle Eastern influence, right? I believe. You say it in English to your cat. Yes, Susie Q. Yes. Eat, please. Yes. Bahana wa Shifa. Eat with health. Yeah. And as much food as being consumed. Why have we never heard that?
You guys like this setup or what? This is my carpet. Our carpet. I love this table because I can put my tissue here and just take them out. Bubbly cold Pepsi. But you're probably thinking, well, you're complaining about cooking. It's a big task for you. It kind of is because I'm one of those people that eat out every day. And now I've gone from doing that to like caring for someone because, you know, I have a husband now. It's not just me.
She cares for somebody. She cares for somebody. So she's caring for somebody. She's got to cook now for her husband because she cares for somebody. Come on, please. Please. Pix, I keep trying to put your comment on the screen and it's not going, but I wanted to highlight that as well. You said in Muslim parts of Albania. In the Muslim Albanian part of Kosovo, Buft Mir. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I love that. Your ex-husband is from Turkey? Nice. Yeah. There's all kinds of like these nice sayings that you say to one another. And like, I don't hear them ever saying them to each other. You need to teach your husband that word. He works in the prison with Muslim men. Oh, to say eat? Angel of Glass? Yep. Cool. Cool. And it's transliterated, so everyone's gonna like think of a different spelling for it. I think Koul. Someone had it up as Cuul from Tunisia. So it's all transliterated because Arabic doesn't have, same letters. So just however you think of it to pronounce it, cool to men. Cool. That would be cool, Angel of Glass. Let us know how that goes. She doesn't care about her.
Order Starbucks every day for breakfast. Sorry, I had to cut. The grape leaf is sour. It's stuffed with wait, let me show you. Rice and herbs. And like a lemon sauce. Okay, so yeah, it's really hot. I don't want to burn myself. Let's try it on the toast first.
On toast.
Lasagna sandwich type deal.
Lasagna sandwich.
Easy bite.
Lasagna sandwich. Hold the carbs. What on earth? It is insane. Ugh. Lasagna sandwich with a side of rice. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? Ugh.
No way. My first Kuwait lasagna, a success.
Wow, really?
So, when I get up, I make breakfast. Like, I usually always make homemade breakfasts. It's the dinners we usually eat out. Like, I'll usually make Salah loves fried eggs with mushrooms and sometimes mortadella.
Yeah, but she's getting canned mushrooms for those omelets. Why? I'm pretty sure fresh mushrooms are available in Kuwait. Why would you get canned mushrooms? I don't know. Not gonna lie, lasagna Sammy isn't bad. Okay, Archie, I'll have to take your word for that. I don't know if my waistline could hack it. I don't know. She looks so happy and fulfilled, and nobody deserves it more. You're absolutely right, Janine. That's right. That's what she considers a success. Yep. Successful lasagna in Kuwait. That doesn't look like any lasagna I've ever made, had, nothing. No. Please say
with cheese inside the.
Please say coffee. I'm not from New York. I'm not. Hide the mayhem. I like that name. Did you think I was going to say coffee? I'm not from New York. No, I say coffee. Oh, God.
Eggs, like fried eggs, and bread, and then like a little side things like makdous, like stuffed eggplant, olives, labna, jubin, cheese, stuff like this, you know. So, typical
stuff like this, you know? Stuff like this, you know? She needs to explain these things. People don't know. Is she saying she called cheese jubin? Is that what she's saying? Jubin? See, I don't know. All I know is Egyptian dialect. I don't know classical Arabic. I don't know what they're speaking in Kuwait. For cheese in Egypt, it's gibna. Gibna. Jubin, I've never heard of. But Egypt does slaughter the Arabic language to some extent. And there's no J sound in Egypt. It's g. G. Everything j is g. Like shokran jazilan. Thank you very much. We say shokran gazilan. So jubin, I guess. We call it gibna, cheese. What's your honest insight of what the people over there would think of how she eats? That she's just how we think, essentially. That this is, of all the people who are hungry in the world, and she's cooking a meal that could easily feed an entire family. And she's sitting down by herself. First of all, eating a meal by herself would be looked at as sad. You like, in the Arab culture, you never want to let someone eat by themselves. Never. I mean, that's how, like, Arabs think, like, oh, you shouldn't have to eat alone. It's like, what? I'm fine. You know? But it's like they feel like food should be shared. People are always offering you food. And like how she's sitting there devouring all of this. It's sad. It's wasteful. It's the epitome of Western excess and gluttony. And I'm sure even more appalling is that people are watching this and she gets paid to do it. Absolutely appalling. Appalling. Is she held hostage? No. No, she's not a hostage. Really? No. At least 4. Yeah.
Like Syrian type breakfast. Sometimes full. Man, that's good. I love it. I can taste the bay leaves very well. They're kind of new. So,
Amanda, I'm actually just reading the chat on my phone because the thing that I use, it just doesn't keep up. So, Amanda, yes, I can understand Nader. I can. And his dialect is Alexandrian. It 100% is. And I've been meaning to tell you the guys this, but whenever I listen to Nader, it reminds me of this is going to sound a little catty. I'm just warning you. It's going to sound catty, but I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay. My ex was educated in a British system. So he had a little bit of a British accent to his English. The different social classes have a different way of speaking in Arabic. A little bit different. A different intonation, even a little bit. And I got to a point where I could hear different Arabic speakers and be able to tell what region they were from. At one point, I had a tutor, and he was from Yemen. So he sounded so different to me that I was in Spinneys one day, the grocery store, and I heard the same type of accent like an aisle over. And I said, I think that person's from Yemen. And I went over to look, and I could tell by the way he was dressed, he was from Yemen. I was like, oh my gosh, I can tell. I can tell by ear. So Nader definitely sounds like he's from Alexandria. That's number one. I lived in Cairo. And my ex and I used to joke with each other at home with his type of accent. Because like in some places where I worked, the first school that I worked at, there were some, it is a social class system. Okay. And I'll say it again. We don't have to like it. We don't have to accept it. We don't have to be into it whatsoever. It's very different than in the West. People are basically born into a social class, and that's essentially sometimes where they stay. It determines what types of jobs they get, who they marry. It's very difficult to get out of your social class. And when you're around the same social class all the time, which you would be, you pick up certain habits. And his manner of speaking is of a certain social class. So, Janine, I wouldn't say ghetto, but you can tell by the way he's speaking. You might have heard me say that I know that Salah is a higher social class than Nader. He is. Like when people were speculating, is Salah's father really like, does he really have a decent position in the country? And I believe he does. I can tell by looking at Salah that he's not a lower social class. He's not. And we can think whatever we want of his character. Like you can be of a high social class and be a total scumbag at the same time. You might not have any good values or morals, but you were born into a higher social class. Like it doesn't, they're not mutually exclusive. You can be of a lower social class and be a much more upstanding person. It's socioeconomic. It has nothing to do with morals, values, your character. It's like they're not related at all. He's a hood ninja. So my ex and I, when we would joke about someone like at this school where I was working, where there were like teachers from a lower social class. And I'm not saying lower than me, no one's lower than me. I'm not higher than anybody. I'm just saying in general, when we look at all the social classes in Egypt, they would be considered lower. They have a style of speaking, and they can be very, very effing dramatic. I have so many stories I could tell you guys. The drama. the drama. But when I worked at it,
I love you, Chantal.
I just got an "I love you, Chantal" in my ear. But when I was working in a university, there was hardly any drama. Everyone was just doing their job. They were just doing their jobs. So Nader, my ex, and I used to speak in his accent to joke with each other about things. Okay, if that tells you. Yeah. So it was very clear to me what Nader is all about, kind of. And it's, I'm not surprised that he's opportunistic because he has to be. He might feel that he has to be. Where Salah may not feel that pressure to be opportunistic because he kind of is already okay in life. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Crystal. Thank you. I have so many stories I can't even tell you guys. I watch those prison YouTube channels where people are telling their prison stories. And I'm like, oh my, it's so fascinating. And I'm like, now that I'm talking to you guys about some of this stuff, I'm like, I have so many stories about this little things that would blow your mind that like I've kind of tried to forget about, but would be very different to hear, I'll have to try that as like a welcome to the Parliament, new owlet. Are we moist owlets in here tonight, Pix? Yeah, Missy Moo needs to show some receipts on that. To be honest, it's a big accusation. Missy Moo needs to stop effing around and be about it or get off. Get off the platform. You're either going to be about it. You accuse people of something, you got to bring the receipts. You don't have them. You don't want to show them. Sit over there. Be quiet then. Really. But, what you're talking about dialect is what I fight every day. People don't believe me when I tell people I'm black and they go and tell me I don't sound like it, like they have an authority on my identity. Oh, that must be awesome. That must be awesome. You don't sound like you are. Well, really? Tell me what a black person sounds like then. Really? Yeah, that's total BS. Really. Just like I'm from Glasgow. People think I'm low class. Really? Isn't that crazy? And like, I don't know anything about Scotland. Like I wouldn't have known that until you told me that Glasgow might have a kind of a perception about it. But like, I can tell you're not low class. I know you're not. She's using it to build her channel. She definitely is. Yeah, for sure. You'd love to hear my stories. Maybe I'll try like a little bit of thank you, Rosie Pop, like a little bit of a different format and put out some shorter videos with just like, here's the story when I worked at this school and there was a very dramatic incident. Very dramatic. And I had no idea what to do. That's some culture shock. You got someone literally fainting in the courtyard because I was cross to them. Excuse me? I was cross to you, so she fainted? She got hysterical and fainted? Fainted. This English teacher fainted. I'm like, that is soap opera level dramatic. What are you doing? Oh. Yeah. You're from Texas and people ask, where's your horse? That's just, see, that's the kind of, are people trying to be cute? Do you think that's funny? I think that would get old after some time. I think Missy got some attention, is running with it. I'm shocked Chantal is not freaked out. Holy hellfire after the Salah has a wife and kids accusation. Well, I believe he does too. I haven't even heard that yet, but I believe he does. Lisa Soto, we like your long chats. Thank you, Lisa. You answer questions and admit you don't know everything. That's classic. Yeah, no one knows everything. And I can't stand hearing a reaction channel go off about something that they clearly know nothing about. It's like you're just trying to fill time, just trying to fill air, because anyone who knows what they're talking about knows that you're completely BSing this entire stream, but I hear it all the time. You're from Alabama. You don't want to know what people ask you. I'm sure I know someone from Alabama. And she's not American. Imagine. Yeah. I definitely want to I definitely want to hear about Salah having wife and kids because I believe he does. So I'm not surprised. You live in igloos in Alaska? Of course you do. Of course. I saw a documentary recently about the quote unquote ghettos of Alaska. I was like, oh, there's gangs and everything, neighborhoods, like hoods in Alaska. Like, wow, interesting. Thank you, Amanda. I love these chats, so friendly and cozy. A nice break after a long day. That's what I hope it to be, for sure. I love learning something new every day. Thank you, Crystal. You have done that today. I appreciate that. And guys, if I miss your questions, please know that I'm not intentionally passing over anybody at all. And if I do miss your question, and if you really want me to answer it, put it in the comment. Put it in a comment down below, and I'll definitely answer it next time. If not in the comments, we'll talk about it next time because I don't mean to overlook anyone. Believe me. We don't wear shoes in Kentucky, and women are always pregnant, barefoot and pregnant, huh, Janine? I've been to Kentucky. It was not barefoot and pregnant, what I saw. Yeah, Steady C. I heard this too, that Chantal emailed Missy Moo's mother and told her, like, your daughter is doxing people and you need to get your daughter off the internet, essentially. Her mother. Yeah. Thank you, Savage Vegas. I completely forgot to mention that. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Yes, speaking of Missy Moo's mother, happy Mother's Day. Oh, speculation the email could be fake based off the formatting that was shown on Missy's end. That's what I don't care much for Missy Moo, because she's not straightforward. She's playing games. She's, it's like leading us on, like, oh yeah, stay tuned. Like, either you have it or you don't. I don't like that. I don't like being played with. I feel like my time is valuable. You either have it or you don't. Don't even bring it up if you don't have it. And strumming a ukulele and then coming out in Victoria's Secret, it's like, okay, do you have the screenshots? I don't care about all this. Do you have the screenshots? And to me, if she had them, she wouldn't do all that. That's what I think. Let's watch more of this lasagna. Healthy lasagna.
I'm gonna put my drink here. Yeah. So usually if I get frustrated, but I love my kitchen. It's just everything is just so accessible and it's very spacious and everything. So yeah, I hope I don't have tomato sauce mouth. I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but there's this, for example, in elementary school, there was this kid who always had Kool-Aid mouth. And with my friends, it was kind of mean, but we would joke and call him Kool-Aid mouth Kevin.
Now, I think I heard this while I was driving. I think Chantal is regressing, mentally, because she's like, oh, sorry if I have tomato sauce mouth or whatever. Like, okay, you don't, and you can see yourself in the camera, so you don't. But she starts thinking about to elementary school, Kool-Aid mouth Kevin. Why are we thinking about a child that would have a Kool-Aid stain around their mouth? Why is that even coming into her mouth? Into her mouth? Why is that even coming into her mind? And then she goes on about Kevin. I'm like, why are we thinking about this little boy? Is she going there in her mind, having stains on her face, thinking about herself being a kid? What's going on here? Why did that even come up?
That was hot. That's so good. These are just garlic toasts. So, roll up my Abaya sleeves. So yeah, he would just always come to school, poor kid, with a a ring of Kool-Aid, red Kool-Aid around his mouth. And then for lunch, he would always eat like these like microwavable like ravioli dinners or something with like pasta sauce, like alfaghetti, and he would get like a tomato sauce ring. I don't know. Like if I was like the teacher's aide, like usually like the younger, like usually elementary school, we had like a teacher, then like a teacher's aide who like maybe like help with like, you know, the kids, kind of like a babysitter. And I would like take him to the washroom and wash his mouth. Or take a rag, or I don't know. My schools were not very good for that. Like if a kid had like dirty pants or something, they wouldn't care. Like
Well, she's thinking back to being a child and how like the teachers didn't care about the kids being dirty. Like you could be right. She just needs like a topic to talk about. Like, but why are we going there? Was she neglected as a kid? Like, why is this coming up for her? Because when you're under stress in a new culture, the culture shock, you know, I showed you guys the graph, the culture shock of like, you're in a honeymoon period where everything's awesome, everything's great. There are no poor people in Kuwait. The sea is clear and blue and clean. Everything's wonderful. Everything's super cheap. But then when it hits you, like, oh my God, no, everything isn't great. And the little things start to add up. Things like getting your linen pants bleached. Where you're like, I don't have a black pair of pants to wear to work. Are you effing kidding me right now? Where am I going to get black pants? And that normally it's like, oh, wow, well, that stinks. I'll have to go out and buy another pair of pants. What if you can't? And you have something like that happen every single week. And it seems like a minor thing, but they build and build and build. She's at the end of these 3 months. She's coming up on the end. These things have to have been building in her. And any kind of issue, I feel, like when anyone's under an extreme amount of stress daily, your old issues are going to come back up. Old coping mechanism, old issues that you haven't dealt with, they're going to start to crop back up again because you're not living your happy, normal life. So she's thinking about children being dirty and not being attended to. Was she neglected? Possibly. Is this meal specifically? This might be a little too psychology for some, and that's okay. I like to think deep about this stuff because I've seen connections and patterns in some people, including myself. So I know they exist. But it's like, what's making her think of that right now?
So it's really good. Really meaty. I found the fresh beef. As long as I buy the fresh beef, it's okay. Because I bought like a tube. Maybe it was just the quality of this type of beef, but I bought a tube of like frozen ground beef and frozen ground mutton. The ground mutton was okay. I know mutton makes some people laugh, or I don't know. But the beef tasted so like a cow grazing in a pasture. But this one tastes more like the beef I'm used to.
My pause isn't pausing. Yeah, I know what she means. The like a gamey taste. I know exactly what she means. Kaya Mary, thank you so much for moderating. So much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, some of the meat is not the greatest quality. It's not. Kuwait is food insecure, Chuchu says. They're importing the beef, though. Yeah. One Thanksgiving, I got an imported turkey from Argentina because that's where they were importing halal turkeys from. Argentina. Frozen turkey. Ugh. Ooh, Rosie Pop. I just got accepted in my top choice for psych about 3 weeks ago. And your perspective just made me look at her slow burning stories differently. Maybe she is having a mental crisis. Well, first of all, congratulations. That's awesome. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah. Oh, one of my dogs needs to go out. Congratulations. And yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff, it's like, why is this coming up for her right now? There's a reason. Why not talk about what happened this week? You know, why are we going back to elementary school, you know?
You know what I mean? It's so hot. I should eat from the top. It's so hot and cheesy. And the cream sauce, like, makes it nice and rich. You know? I know. What am I eating with? I know. But I don't want to... I saw comments about my pan. And it's so true. I don't want to, like, ruin my pan, you know? So... I'll just use this. The important thing is that it goes from point A to point B. And I can eat from the pan, it looks better. And I don't have to dirty any more dishes.
Okay, but I mean, what about Salah? What is he eating? What is he having for dinner? You know, what's going on with Salah?
So good. So yeah. Forgive me if I end up looking like Kool-Aid mouth Kevin. With my tomato sauce. I didn't make those. We bought them. But they're good quality.
She doesn't have many life experiences to talk about. She hasn't accomplished really anything. She cycles over and over, never gaining anything worthwhile. What's she going to talk about? OnlyFans? Hey, she should. Like, yeah, why not? Not necessarily about like what she did on there, but maybe she wants to give some tips to the girls, like, you know, how to make more money on there. She could probably make money like making those kind of videos. She doesn't have to discuss the nitty gritty, you know?
So yeah, I saw this meme and I'm like, this is totally us. I don't know if you guys do this, but like, when I say I'm proud of that I cooked because, well, yesterday, I just made like a simple like noodle recipe. I wanted to eat them. I was craving them, but also I wanted to make something easy and not too daunting. Something that didn't take much commitment or energy because we were out most of the day and then it was hot and we were did a lot of groceries. Well, we did groceries, but we have like a lot of food in our fridge already, so it was more like a top up. But we didn't want to like usually on grocery day. It's funny because I saw a meme where it's like people sitting around eating takeout with grocery bags in the background and they're like, us after spending like $300 in groceries. Yeah, you know, ordering out, because it's like exhausting, like going to the grocery store sometimes.
Something? What? Whoops. Oh, my little streaming program is starting to freak out on me. I guess there must be a limit, like a 2-hour limit, where it's like, you're done. I'm telling you. Hey, Blondie, what's going on? Nice to see you. But yeah, I don't know what she does all day. The grocery shopping is absolutely exhausting. That she just wants to order out after spending $300 on food. Girl, that is, if I mean, you're not necessarily in the first world, but that is a first world problem if I've ever heard one.
And then by the time you get home, put all this stuff away, you're just really hungry and you don't want to, like, you know, I don't know. You just don't want to cook. Mm. Mm. So cheesy and delicious. Maybe a little too cheesy. Beefy cheesy. Lasagna.
It's not
But
lasagna.
anyway.
Never seen a lasagna look like that ever.
Mm. I was like, you said you're gonna cook. Now cook. You're probably gonna see a lot of those ingredients that I bought.
A lot of what ingredients? Doritos?
Mukbangs.
Okay. Dorito mukbang. Sounds good. We'll be there. Christina Lee, they're not pickles.
Mm-hmm.
they're stuffed grape leaves. Those would be huge pickles. That's a lot of pickles.
I saw a really nice comment yesterday. It was from somebody going through like chemotherapy, and my videos really helped them. So I just want to like shout them out and say that I will definitely keep you in my thoughts and prayers, and I wish you well. And thank you for, you know, making my day with that comment. Actually, most of you guys, whenever you're like really positive and nice and, you know, even like just the positive vibes really help, and I really appreciate them.
I really feel like Salah told her to say that, because generally we don't ever really hear her acknowledge the audience when she's not live streaming. And like, I feel like to Salah, that would mean something. Like, oh, someone really struggling says that watching Chantal helps them. Like, you should acknowledge this viewer, Chantal. You know, you should be grateful that someone finds you interesting and, you know, uplifting somehow. You know, because we never really hear that from her, like acknowledging a viewer in a positive way like that. So I think he's coaching her on stuff like this. She's turning into hungry fat chick. You do hear an awful lot of moaning and mouth sounds. It's pretty disgusting. At one point, like just listening while driving, I couldn't distinguish between her stirring through the noodles with that wooden spoon or slopping it in her mouth. Like it all sounded the same. Ugh. Thank you, Scunnard. Nice.
I made
You're right, Marcy.
some of my live streams, recent ones, members only. I don't know. I don't know if I did it right though, but it's not that I regret what I say or I'm afraid or anything like that.
I love you,
It's
Chantal.
just that like every time I do a live stream,
Someone just subscribed. I want to see if I can I want to see if I can do it again and see who it was. Let me put my earbuds up to the mic so you can hear it. I don't even know who it was. Let's see. Tubin for the tea. Tubin for the tea. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing. A new moist Powellette. Yeah.
where I
A wooden
address
spoon. Ugh.
dumb rumors or drama, I regret it like soon after. And it's because like I don't want to give these people attention. I don't want to give them.
Wait, can you hear it like a normal level of volume? Or did you just hear it now? Because I put my earbuds up to the mic. Or can you hear it anyway? That would be awesome if you can hear it. That would be awesome. Let me see. Let me do it again. You hear it normal? Let me do it now, and I won't hold up my earbuds. We'll see if you can hear it.
I love you, Chantal. I love you, Chantal.
Oh my God, it's working. Oh, that's so awesome. Yes. It's a little low, but you heard it a few times. That's awesome. I can turn up the volume on that. I tried to like keep it so it wouldn't be too distracting. Okay, that's awesome. Yes, finally.
The clout that they're seeking or the attention from me that they're seeking.
Clout.
Because I realized that like for some people, obviously they want my attention if they're addressing me, right?
Yep.
Certain people. So it's like sometimes it doesn't matter if they get positive or negative as long as it's attention.
True. Same for her.
And I don't want to give people that.
It was Crystal.
We don't deserve it.
Was it too loud, Crystal?
So that's why I private them a lot, you know? Even though they're already on the internet, because like everything I do is instantly taken. So like I think I put out a video yesterday and somebody started reacting to it. I think like 11 minutes later. I'm not kidding. But we're just trying to do our content. Like I want to work more on the couples channel. By the way, our part 2, I'm working on that later tonight. Like we've been busy and the videos that require more editing have been suffering more, but
yeah, that's the way it works.
I'll get back to it.
That's the way it works. That's how YouTube is now. It used to be back in the day, we didn't have live streams. You could only upload videos. So there has been, I don't even know when it started, live streaming. Like not too, like maybe 5 years ago, maybe. And then you had people where they just hit go live and that's all they had to do. That's all they had to do. No talent required. Just be mouthy and loud. And then you just had all this influx of creators that call themselves creators. And yeah, So Chantal knows, like, she's not the best editor, but she edits videos, and you can tell. I mean, I can vouch for her. You know, you don't want to hear that, but live streams, you should put in some effort. I put in a lot of effort. I don't know. I know not everyone does, but it's much easier to make money if you just live stream. And she's talking about the couples channel where everything's edited. It takes longer to put out videos. You know, you've got to think up content. You've got to actually film. Usually, if you're not a reaction channel, especially, you got to go out and film. That takes a lot of time and effort. And YouTube is not rewarding those videos as much as live streams. They push live streams hardcore, and edited videos fall to the back, unfortunately. Bamboozled is in the house. Oh, yeah, we're ready for the humor. Bamboozled is here. This was a pound of ground beef, fat left in, plus added oil. That's right, she didn't even drain the ground beef. Ugh. Plus oil. A package of cream cheese, a package of mozzarella. Don't forget the cream, like regular cream. A ton of noodles, and then extra grape leaves with this. No way she's going to finish this. I'm curious. Should we speed it up a little bit? Oh, we're almost at the end. So does she eat all of this? How's that possible? Huh, okay.
This is delicious. I love Pepsi.
It's really loud for you,
This
Suzuki.
has just become like a huge cheesy, meaty,
Okay.
noodly mess. You know. Oh. Okay, guys.
Okay, you can stop eating anytime.
I think I'm full. This was very delicious, very easy in terms of lasagna. You don't have to do the layers and all that stuff. I don't know why. I just find making lasagna daunting for some reason. So this is an easy way.
Lasagna is daunting. Okay, I mean, yeah, lasagna is time consuming. You gotta layer things and bake it. But this I would not call lasagna. I would not with everything that's in this. No, I would not. Weird vibe here, Bamboozled. Her face is crying for help. This is the face of someone loving life, Jack in the Box says. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like lately she hasn't been able to eat nearly as much as she used to. I think I realized that when she was eating the pizza from Pizza Hut. It was like a medium pizza, and she was like really trying to finish it. And I wondered if maybe she's having some kind of health issue that's preventing her from eating as much as she used to. I'm really wondering what's going on with that. She finished the rest when she stopped recording. You think so? Ugh, it's so much.
Just with things that I had in my pantry and fridge, And my favorite. I love these so much. Anyways, guys, thanks for having dinner with me again.
Okay, all right.
And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Okay. Oh my God, really? She's got a fuzzy, blurred picture of Harry. I don't believe that's Harry. Sorry, you're gonna have to do better than that, Chantal. I want a newspaper. I want a Kuwaiti newspaper held up to Harry's face. And I'll be able to read at least, I don't know if I'll be able, I probably can't read the month, but I can read the numbers. Okay? So I'll be able to tell. So May 14th, I want a newspaper held up to Harry, and I'll be able to see if it's a 1/4/2023. I can read that. Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't. No. You don't think she liked it because she would have finished it? Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Because why wouldn't she have finished it? She finishes everything. Even like when you can tell she does not want to eat anymore, she still manages to shove it in, you know? Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Truly, it was a great time. I really have fun with you guys. You guys are you're a good group, I got to tell you. I have participated in different communities across YouTube, and you guys are a good group. You really are. So thank you. You guys participate. You have interesting things to add. You have good questions. You guys are a good group. You really are. Thank you. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? I'm trying to get up to close to like Chantal's numbers. I mean, let's be serious. Are you serious? Let's be serious. I want to surpass Chantal. I want to get my YouTube, what is it? Silver button, I think. 100,000 subscribers. I want to get to my 100K before her. Let's do this. Let's do this. If you haven't subscribed, it's free. I don't require anything from you whatsoever. Thank you so much. Oops. Well, it's like the system's kicking me off. It's like, okay, you got to go now. All right, everybody. I know, right, Rosie Pup? It's like, nope, time to go. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Hit the like button before you leave. Have a great Sunday. All the mothers, happy Mother's Day. If you're not a mother, yeah, I'm sure you're a mother to something. If not someone, right? Even if it's your plants, even if you're walking around your place talking to your plants and watering them, you're their mom. You're their mom. Okay, everybody. I'll see you soon. All right. Have a great night and a great weekend. Bye-bye.